Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to talk about something. I still see a lot of crocheters on YouTube, and it's always a big deal to put these ends in, weave them all in at the end, and for the most part you can do this and avoid that entirely. I cannot stand weaving ends in, and if I have to do that, I just will not finish my project. So I wanted to show you guys what I do to avoid that whole debacle. So I am making a cuff bracelet here, and I am making some loops here to fasten it with buttons on the other side. But as you can see, I just added this new thread here that we will have to weave in. And it really is as simple as crocheting over top of it. I like to just leave it flat, don't pull on it because you'll end up like, having this weird pinch. If you just leave it kind of slack and you leave it rest on top of your work, you should be able... Did I chain one? Oh, I think I just fastened it. Okay, sorry, my bad. I got a little distracted. If you keep that on top of your work and crochet over top of it, even with color changes, I will do this and I will crochet over top of it. Now, like I said, I'm gonna have loops here for my buttons, and if you, I sometimes will go over top and I don't really care, but for the sake of neatness, I will just kind of pull this underneath that stitch because I'm gonna be going into this stitch, so I'll be able to tuck that under, but you can't even see it once it's, crocheted over top. So, sorry, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. So that was one. So I'm gonna just crochet 5 chains. I'm just kind of not following a pattern, so I'm kind of making this one up as I go. And I'll single crochet there. That way I've got this loop here, and then I'm just wondering if I like that, that's all. I don't know if I should do... Yeah, I'm going to do 2 loops instead of 3. I was planning 3 loops, but... So now I'm just going to crochet... Oh, that's a little too big of a loop, sorry. I'm not doing a good job of showing you guys, am I? I'm just going to do those 2 crochets there. Now, I'm lazy. I do not like trimming these, even. I will crochet this until it's gone. But if that bothers you, you can certainly just trim it like now after it's had a few stitches, over hold. But for the sake of showing you, I will ignore it for now, like I normally do. 3, 4, 5, and like I said, this little tail, just gonna drag it through that chain that I'm skipping so that you don't see it laying on top there when I go into it, when I skip over it. And then I'm turning in this corner here, and as you can see, this tail is from when I fastened off the granny square, and I will literally do the same thing, the exact same thing, to any tail that I come across. I never end up with tails if I'm like doing a line pattern, like if I'm just following back and forth and I'm doing color changes every few rows. I will never have tails at the end because I always weave them in over top, and it blends in with the previous color that you just stitched, so it doesn't matter if it's kind of there, you don't really see it even on color changes. So now I'm just going to be crocheting single crochet straight across this whole piece here. So that's... Now there's a double knot there to really secure it, so it's a little bumpy. right there. But when you go over it, you really won't be able to tell. And if you ever want to, you can always just trim those little pieces. I'll just give it a little wiggle and it like tucks it in a little bit more. That one's a little bit longer, but one. And I'm just gonna go the whole way across this granny square just to show you. 2, 3, and then that corner. See? So there's no end there. Now there's this little piece and I could just snip that off. If you really wanted to, it's just that little tiny piece. But I don't like ends. If I have to weave them in, I will not. You know, like even this, if I wanted to, I would just carry it with this one. But I am just gonna snip this because why not? But I take them in as I go, because if at the end of a project you've got 60 ends to thread through, that is the worst thing ever, and I actually cannot stand it. Like I said, I just will not finish a project. It prevents me from finishing a project. If I have to do that, I just won't do it. But just gonna show you one more time. And this is something I've done since I first learned to crochet. I learned right away that I did not like weaving in ends. So this is what I started doing to avoid that whole debacle. I just crochet right over top of it. Don't pull on it, just leave it as taut as your actual fabric, if you would call it that, is being made up at. See? See? Okay. So, no end at the back. And, oh goodness, don't lose my spot, don't lose my spot. Micro crochet is a little bit more fiddly. And I'll stitch these parts closed at the end, maybe, if I feel like it. But, wait, make sure I don't clip the wrong one. But, just get rid of them as you work, and you will be a much happier crocheter. Okay? So, happy crafting, and enjoy creating your eclectic creations.